Oh, Cinco de Mayo here on the Plus. It is great to have you. Brought to you by Ike Sandwiches. Thanks so much for coming on back after a huge Game 7 win for the Golden State Warriors. Slow weekend of news around the 49ers. The San Francisco Giants take 3 out of 4 against the Rockies, and we'll get to it all. But, man, a big night and a big win to save Steve Kerr's reputation. Steve Kerr, in his entire career as head coach of the Golden State Warriors, faced no bigger consequences on a Monday than the one that he just avoided. Had Steve Kerr and the Warriors lost Game 7 in Houston, the knives would have been out for Kerr today. I mean, viciously, as if he had never won championships around here, as if he had never hung banners. They would have come for Steve Kerr, and they would have been relentless. And he opened himself to that criticism. He really, really did. His benching of Jonathan Kuminga, the team's third leading scorer all season long in a series in which scoring was hard to find. Now, Houston's defense had an awful lot to do with that, but Steve really stuck to his guns by not playing Kuminga. And Kuminga got a little run in Game 7, but he did nothing. Not surprised to see him a little out of touch and rusty. Why would you be? He's been a forgotten man since the postseason has begun. Oh, Steve Kerr would have had an awful lot to answer for. And I don't mean to crap on Gary Payton II, but man, I'm telling you, if Gary Payton II had been available last night, I don't know if the Warriors win. Because I really do think that Steve needs to have options that he likes more than I like taken away from him at times. Buddy Hield saved the Golden State Warriors season. He had a hell of a Game 4 in this series, and what he just did for the Warriors in Game 7 means he gets a free ribeye waiting for him at Miller and Lux, the overpriced steakhouse that is attached right there to Chase Center. Get this guy set up with some free apps, something. I mean, a huge, I'm talking huge game out of Buddy Hield. So apparently everyone was extra inspired, felt extra frisky because of a players-only meeting. And ESPN had the story saying that the Warriors started earning that second-round ticket with an emotional players-only meeting called by Green, Curry, and Butler on Saturday at the team hotel not long after the plane lands. So they got to go back to Houston, probably a quiet plane ride there. They get to the hotel. I don't know if they get a conference room, they had a veranda. They doing this in somebody's room? I don't know. But either way, the players-only meeting started, I guess, with Draymond Green admitting that so he had this really weird moment with Fred VanVleet at the beginning of Game 6, few minutes into the game, and you've got Draymond Green just flailing like somebody threw a cat into the pool. And he was trying to pick up a foul on VanVleet and kind of punches VanVleet as he's doing that. And it's just one of those moments where Draymond even turned around and admitted to the team, like, I lost my composure. I lost my cool, and I pouted after that. And my bad. Draymond Green dropped I'm sorry, everybody. I screwed up the mojo of Game 6. And the Warriors did have no mojo in Game 6. Buddy Hield made no shots in Game 6. But in Game 7, the mojo was back. The defense was right. They basically said, look, let's hold this team under 90 points. And they freaking did it. And Game 7 opened with Şengün missing a shot, picking up a traveling violation. Then Draymond Green comes out and he scores the Warriors' first 5 points. He would add another 3 a little bit later. And when Draymond gets locked in early, especially contributing offensively, it gets the Warriors off and running. And then all of a sudden, Buddy Hield decided to show everybody who can really shoot a basketball, not named Steph Curry, on this team. And he was fantastic. But Draymond has that Hong Kong Phooey moment with Fred VanVleet back in Game 6, and it kind of screwed up the flow of Game 6, and they admitted it. Now, I don't know how much Jimmy Butler's actually talking in this meeting, but man, Jimmy Butler came through with a really quiet, good game in Game 7. Everyone was looking at Buddy Hield leading the way, And then Steph Curry, where are you? Where are you? Where are you, man? Where are you? You hit only 1 3 in the first half, does nothing really in the third quarter, and then closes like an absolute freight train with 14 of his 22 in the fourth quarter. 22 for Curry to go along with 10 rebounds and 7 assists. 33 for Buddy Hield. 33 for Buddy Hield. And what a game. We'll get into Buddy's game in just a second, but Draymond had 16. The Warriors have 4 starters in double figures. They have 4 starters playing 40 minutes or more, which is the only thing I didn't like about that game 7. And if you really say, all right, Damon, you got to make a bet in the next round. It's a big bet, too. You betting on or against the Golden State Warriors at this point? Man, I want the Warriors to win. I sure do. But I really think that the Houston was the fuck around portion of the playoffs, and the Warriors played with their food a little bit, and the find out portion is going to come with a gas tank emptier than it should be or needs to be. If the Warriors are going to beat Minnesota, they're taking one of the first 2 games at Target Center. There's no way around it in my mind. I don't think the Warriors can spot the Timberwolves 2 wins and then win 4 out of 5. So Warriors got to split at Target Center, I think, to be in this game, in this series at all. Said the same thing about splitting in Houston. The Warriors needed to split in Houston. Hell, they started the series by getting game 1. Can they run Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid off the court? Can they make Minnesota's bigs less than big impact? And they're going to have to shoot lights out from 3 the entire way through in order to beat Minnesota. And then after that, what are you looking at? Probably a matchup with Denver, another team that is full of problems and matchup nightmares for the Warriors. Again, Warriors don't do big basketball very, very well. So they got some real big basketball in front of them, big man basketball, not the gravity of a big game, because, again, they just survived the gravity. Of a game 7. And it was experience that got him through it. And it was Buddy Hield that got him through it. God damn, Buddy Hield, man. He has been a little bit of a headache all year long. From now on, again, Buddy Hield has dessert waiting for him at Miller & Lux. This guy, what a game. A historic first half. Buddy Hield, after going 0 for 4 in the Warriors' Game 4 loss at Chase Center, Hield scored 33 points, including 22 in the first quarter. His 6 3-pointers in the first half are a record for a Game 7. His 9 triples match Dante DiVincenzo for the most threes in a Game 7 history. He also scored the most points after going scoreless in his prior game in the NBA postseason. That, according to ESPN research. And Hield was 9 of 11 from 3-point range. Again, he set a record for Game 7 for making more threes than the Rockets, who were 6 of 18 from 3-point range. Again, Buddy Hield made more threes than the entire roster of the Houston Rockets. And the Warriors had more made threes than the Houston Rockets even attempted. Houston Rockets need a shooter. They need 2. It can't just be Fred VanVleet, who had a hell of a series. And, Şengün had a rough Game 7, and for a 22-year-old kid, still produced in it, but man, he missed a lot of bunnies. And Jalen Green, in the tradition James Harden said a long time ago in Houston, was a total no-show when it mattered most. The only difference is Jalen Green has played this long of an NBA career, and that is still happening to James Harden at any point in his career, including the last Game 7 that he was just in. James Harden, when the chips are down, is going to the strip club. We know that about him. Joe Schmo dropping a Fred VanVleet. Hey, say whatever you want about his barrel-chested nature. Fred VanVleet's a player, dude. Fred VanVleet has a ring. And by the way, that came over the Golden State Warriors. I got no funny business to say. Fred VanVleet balled his ass off in that series. I thought Fred VanVleet was really good. By the way, the Warriors became the seventh seed in NBA history to advance to the semifinals after they eliminated now Houston for the fifth time in this era. The fifth time. I mean, that is something else. Where's this note that I have here? It was from Josh Dubow talking about it's the Rockets again that go down to the Golden State Warriors. Curry and Draymond became the 20th and 21st players in NBA history to beat the same opponent 5 times in a best-of-7 series. Now, to find the players that are above them, I'm guessing you are going back to deep in NBA history where there were fewer teams involved and the chances of you meeting the same team over and over again in the postseason were greater than they are now. It is amazing that the Houston airport even allows the Golden State Warriors plane to land. That's how much ownage they have over Houston in big playoff games that matter. If you are a Houston Rockets fan, you have my full permission to hate the Golden State Warriors more than any other team in the NBA. You should. The Warriors have been the end of your basketball season now 5 times over the last decade. That's freaking brutal, man. That's brutal. So if you're a pissed off Rocket fan at the Warriors, I'm not going to take that from you. Nobody should. Kevon Looney didn't have a great game, but there's some stabilizing presence about Kevon Looney in a Game 7 that I think just helps the Warriors' overall mojo. He had a few good rebounds. Again, Jimmy Butler with an incredibly quiet 28-7, but you look at the end of the game, he's 28-7. There's some playoff Jimmy for you right there. Empty minutes for Kuminga. Moses Moody didn't score, but was +6 when the final box score got printed. So, look, Good win for the Warriors. It took them a while to find it. It took them to Game 7 to really play a full, impressive game outside of Game 1. They opened the series great. They closed the series great. Everything in the middle got a little muddled. And you can even say that the Warriors got outplayed in Games 2 through 6. Even though they won some of those games, Houston probably played the better basketball in some of the games the Warriors won. And I think that you are going to see that formula need to carry out once again in the next round. They have to hit an ungodly amount of threes. You're going to need 2 Buddy Hield games. You're going to need Curry to have a 50-burger at one point in time. You're just going to have an overwhelming three-point attack where Brandon Podziemski is playing like he did the other day. That's what the Warriors need. Jonathan Kuminga, I think, is just so much damaged goods. To even try to get him back in now is going to be a very difficult thing to do. Steve Kerr has pretty much set sail with Jonathan Kuminga still standing on the docks. And I don't know if he's going to turn the boat around and really reevaluate that at this point in time. Games 1 and 2 are Tuesday and Thursday in Minnesota at Target Center. Game 3 will be Saturday, 5:30 Chase Center in San Francisco. Game 4, Monday the 12th. So a week from this live stream, Game 4 of this series will be getting played. So a huge week of basketball. Huge week of basketball, not just for the Warriors, but all teams still alive in the NBA. The NBA playoffs have been great. My God, the NHL playoffs were great. The Winnipeg Jets knocking the St. Louis Blues out of the postseason. Overtime, Game 7. Doesn't get more dramatic than that. The only way it could is if, Winnipeg scored the goal that sent it to overtime with 2 seconds left. They did that. Even had ourselves a Kentucky Derby over the weekend. Can you remember the name of the horse that won the Kentucky Derby, or does it not count that much more anymore? The fact that sovereignty just edged out journalism is one of the 1-2 Kentucky Derby finishes in the history of. So is sports being a microcosm of America? Yeah, that was happening. That was happening at the Kentucky Derby. His father was a mutter. His mother must have been a mutter because that was a sloppy, sloppy track. You got all those women wearing their fancy hats, getting rained on. You got all those lovely ladies and men wearing their snakeskin shoes and their high heels and their Ferragamos and all that stuff. And it's a muddy, muddy day at the douchebag party at Churchill Downs. It used to be really cool to go to the Kentucky Derby. Now it just seems to be desperate to be a social media influencer douchebags that are kind of going to the Kentucky Derby. Wait a minute. Red Jet, she's got a birthday coming up on May 12th. Game 4. Get it done. Get it done. Z-snaps for Red Jet. It's good to see so many of you. So many names that I'm familiar seeing in the chat. Always great to see you. Again, thank you very much for being back, supporting what we do here on the Plus. You guys are incredible. So are the sandwiches at Ike's. And man, I want you to sign up for that Love Rewards program. Start eating your way through that menu. You'll be very, very happy that you did. And if you've got your office looking, what am I going to do for lunch? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Check out Ike's Catering. Order it for your office. You will be received as a hero once that box of Ike's shows up. Chips, drinks, everything that you could possibly need. You start earning your way to free elements of those. If you sign up for that Love Rewards app, get it done. Get it down at the Dubliner West Portal, baby. Get yourself something tasty, something delicious. When it comes to the best poured Guinness in all of San Francisco, anything behind that bar, good to go with my friends Kenny and John, just pouring it, running a great bar. The bar's perfect. When you walk in that bar, you're like, yeah, this is a bar. This is supposed to be a bar. This bar isn't trying to be anything other than a bar. You want food delivered? You get your Ike's delivered to the Dubliner. You can bring in a pizza right across the street from Little Original Joe's. Anything goes at the Dubliner. Great folks, great time. Get yourself to the Dubliner. And if you don't mind me saying, please, as you're considering what you're going to be doing for vacation plans this summer, if you are a camper in the state of California, download campsitetonight.app. It's like hotel rooms, but for campsites everywhere in the state of California, and it's growing even beyond that. This is an app that was invented by my entrepreneurial neighbor. He said, Damon, can you help me get the word out? I said, I will get thousands of downloads for you of your app. Make me look good by helping my buddy out. Please download campsitetonight.app and just start checking it out. It'd be silly to try to make some camping plans this summer without doing that. So check that out if you would, please. Thank you for supporting this show by supporting my sponsors. It is outside of becoming a member, picking up merch, hitting like and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel, and I thank you all for it whenever you do it. Okay, what else we got? Does Ike have the Japanese egg sandwich yet? Steve in the 5510. No, I don't know if he's got an egg salad sandwich. Ninja Owl wants to know, Damon, what is your Ike sandwich? Well, I'd be happy to not just tell you. I'll go ahead and I'll show you, Ninja Owl. This is my sandwich. And I am a little ribeye steak for you. Beer battered onion rings. You want tomatoes, put tomatoes on it. I don't like tomatoes on my sandwich. I like onions. I like Godfather sauce. You get a little A1 sauce on there, a little provolone cheese on there. I also like mine on a soft roll, not the Dutch Crunch, but if you're a Dutch Crunch guy, boy, Ike's is for you. And there you go. If you think I'm a good host, either we're on the radio or are now on YouTube, wait until you try me as a sandwich. Hopefully someday my broadcasting career will be as established as an industry leader as the sandwich is. God, I got a great sandwich at Ike's. You need to go ahead and get a great sandwich at Ike's today. Michael Chan, Ike should do a Japanese version of the Damon Bruce, which is the egg sandwich. Again, the man has enough requested sandwiches already. We don't need to say, hey, Ike, go do another sandwich. The man's got thousands of them. And I really wonder, how popular would egg salad be? Outside of Anthony Bourdain telling me, eat that damn Lawson's egg salad sandwich, I would have never done that. Never. I never crave egg salad. I never say, yeah, let's go get ourselves egg salad sandwiches. But I did eat 3 of them in a week's time in Japan. By the way, the sip of the day is popping right now. Absolutely perfecto. I feel the same way about you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Delicious. Delicious. Damon, what are your thoughts of Alcatraz being reopened? It is functional proof that an awful lot of people don't know what they're talking about, most specifically the guy who's supposed to have the biggest voice in the Alcatraz as a reopened prison for the millions of dollars that would need to spend just to get it ready is the dumbest thing said into a microphone in America, and it feels like there's something new every week. Alcatraz reopening as a prison means you must be a flaming douchebag to even bring that up. Oh, come on. Can't happen. Won't happen. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Come on. By the way, we do stop as always for supers. Thank you very, very much. Ike's Sunnyvale customer service, very much appreciated. Get it done down in Sunnyvale, Ike's. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, I mean, seriously, let's spend $50 million reopening a prison that can hold about 400 people. And oh, by the way, every single bar in there needs to be replaced. It's been rusting out in seawater for decades. It's the dumbest thing that you could possibly. Nothing says I don't know what I'm talking about quite like that. So, exactly, 50 million, way more. Yeah, it's probably $500 million. 50 million just to put a new dock out there. I mean, it's cataclysmically stupid. But we move on, and we don't let that guy bother us no mo. Let's see. I already told you. I think that the Warriors screwed around and played with their food too much against Houston, and the 2 games that they just handed back to Houston when they were up 3-1 in that series, Warriors survived it. I think it's what's going to be what takes them out in the next round. I thought when the Warriors were up 3-1, they needed to slam the door. And the 2 games that they didn't play, equal, you're definitely now winning at least 1 game in the next round. I think that the Warriors are now definitely losing a game that they might have won because they just had to burn so much fuel to get through Houston. So I like their chances less than I did against Houston. And then if you're actually able to get through Minnesota at that point, it's just total gravy time. It's total gravy time at that point. Let's see. What else have we got going on here? What else? Exploring with Eric, do you really expect the Warriors to win a chip? No way. We should be happy to be. The Warriors are not going to be NBA champions this year. Anyone who told you that the Warriors were about to win a championship is a fan hoping. The Warriors are not going to be winning. I don't think Steph Curry wins another championship in his career. I don't. I think just going out playing the best basketball you possibly can. Old teams do not last forever. And I think that. How about this? Please prove me wrong. Please go ahead and win the whole thing. I will be shocked, thoroughly jaw on the floor, agag, shocked if the Warriors reach the NBA Finals, much less then win that. I just don't think. I think that there are enough flaws built into who they are and what they do now. And old men get tired. And I just think that we'll see. We'll see. Smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much, Erwin. I agree. Smash it, if you would, please. Look, not a lot of hand-wringing to be done over what the Niners did in a very quiet weekend. They did welcome back Ross Dwelly He's back on a 1-year deal. I was talking about that with Kruger on Wake Up, and I said they're bringing him in as a blocking tight end. He says, no, he's not a blocking tight end. He is a pass catcher. Well, for a guy who catches passes, he doesn't do that very much. He had 1 catch last year, 1 catch the year before. I think 3 catches the year before that, 4 catches the year before that. I mean, I'm a pass catcher if that guy's a pass catcher. He has 1 more catch than I do. So I don't know why they brought Ross Dwelly back. Or if you are going to bring Ross Dwelly back, why are you bringing Luke Farrell in? If Luke Farrell is the blocker that Dwelly isn't, again, what is Dwelly going to be, your second tight end? Again, he doesn't catch anything. Mason Pline, you got some snaps to go get. Or maybe you don't. Maybe they don't believe in you at all. But that's the transaction. Ross Dwelly back in the room. Mike Florio talking about Brock Purdy's contract and what it's actually going to look like. And guess what? It's what we've been saying all along. And the 49ers are making this more difficult than it needs to be because the parameters with adjustable team-friendly numbers are all over this league. Every example of what Brock Purdy's, you have 10 different examples of what Brock Purdy's contract is about to look like with the 10 highest paid quarterbacks in football because he's in that conversation. So his conversation is going to look an awful lot like one of those conversations. It's just how you must start moving numbers around. Florio's estimation says Purdy ends up with a $55.1 million annual average salary, just behind Dak Prescott and Josh Allen. A 5-year, $280 million deal. Florio says now the annual average signing could be 46.8. A far cry from the 55.1, with the final 2 years of the deal at much higher salaries, going up to $60 million in 29 and 23 and 30. I think they're going to build in very valuable yet easy to walk away from years at the end of this. It's going to be a 5-year deal, but it's really going to be a 3-year deal, and guaranteed money is all you really need to worry about. And again, we have been saying this for months. So what Brock Purdy ends up getting will be exactly what I told you for months now. Why it's taking so long to reach the X marks the spot, I do not know. The track that you're running this race on has been built. Just put your car on the track and cross the finish line of this negotiation. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, it's probably not doing any harm, not doing any damage that it's not been done yet. But get it done all at the same time, please. Talks about what the Niners are not going to do in free agency now that the draft is over. Jed York seems to be dedicated to saving more money than bringing in guys to be camp bodies who maybe make the team and shock everyone. So not a lot of options out there. Team is on the field. We'll see if Drake Jackson can become more than just a forgotten man, right? Remember Drake Jackson? Probably not. Haven't seen him all last year. He was out with a patella tendon surgery. He missed time in the 2023 season with the same patella tendon being injured. They just drafted the guy who's his replacement, Mikael Williams. But I do think he's got to have a shot to make the team. He's going to be battling against Robert Beal Jr., Alex Barrett, Teron Jackson, and Jonathan Garvin for a spot on the 53-man. But this is it. This is the fork in the road of his career. So we will see if he's on this team before it is all said and done. SG, thoughts on the Warriors' 103-89 win over the Rockets? SGA, check out the first 26 minutes of the show. You got here a little late today. The first 26 minutes of the show were on the Warriors and the Rockets and what next round might look like. So please enjoy. Make sure you go ahead and jog back off. SGA wants us to know that Buddy Hield went off for 33 points. This has been discussed and covered. Thank you. Thank you. The disco ball's getting out of shape. It's been a while since we've done a Club Plus. How about a Club Plus Friday? We can plus it up on a Friday, I think. I can tell you the plan is tomorrow, have Guy Haberman join us for our 11 a.m. show. on the live stream. Guy Haberman on Tuesday. I think Cyrus will hopefully stop by on Wednesday. Sam Batesh on Thursday. And then Friday, we'll get into the club. We'll turn the squeakiest disco ball in America back on. There you go. Oh, people are already getting excited. Already getting excited. Club Plus Friday. Get the party gear out. Great guest lineup for the week. And let me tell you, Otis, we're working on a few more. I got some calls out to a few other guys. Don't want to tell you who or when or why yet because that hasn't been established. But we're fishing for some really big guests to stop by the channel sometime soon. I can promise you that. Let's see. We got baseball for the San Francisco Giants at Wrigley Field today. Giants, they dropped the first game against Colorado. How you losing to the we're not even trying Colorado Rockies? Well, that's just baseball. And then they beat the Rockies 3 in a row. They take 3 out of 4. You keep on taking 3 out of 4 against every bad team you meet. That's a great way to keep things on track. They sit in third place in the Red Hot West. The Padres have won 5 in a row. The Dodgers have won 7 out of 10. The top of the NL West is relentlessly good, has been relentlessly successful early on here in 2025. A 6-game road trip starts today at Wrigley Field. Always fun to watch those games. You know, the ivy starting to officially bloom and come on in. It's not just gray outfield wall. 3 with the Cubs, with Landon Roop, Verlander, and Robbie Ray as your 3 starters scheduled in Chicago. Then it's going to be 3 with the Minnesota Twins starting on Friday. So think about this. Let's say you are a Warriors fan who is just going to an away game. If you're a Warriors fan and you can get to game 2 at Target Center on Thursday night, you got Giants Twins waiting for you on Friday. If you're from the Bay Area, there's never been a better time to be heading to Minnesota than right now. So hopefully somebody in the audience will be doing that. Hopefully somebody in the audience will be doing that. Somebody in the chat. Who's going? My man Rob Sino throwing down serious cash on postseasons. He seems like he could swing it. So big week for the Giants. Let's see if they can keep a really good thing going. And again, thank you very, very much for keeping a good thing going here over and over and over again. Coming on back means the world to me. And hopefully you keep on coming back because you know I'm never going to waste your time. And that's it. There's nothing else that's happening in the world in sports that you really need to be concerned about right now. Giants at Wrigley. Warriors survive a game 7. Let's go, Niners. Get your shit together. Get ready for a football season. You still got plenty of time to do that, so we're not going to get really angry or excited about anything at this point in time. And there you go. There is your reasonable, rational look at a world of sports, which otherwise, when douchebags are in charge of the conversation, feels like nothing but drama, 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 drama everywhere you go. But, you know, here's the thing. We've been around the block once or twice. We've seen a thing or two, and that's why it's time to tell you about what happened today in history. Today in history. Oh my God, by the way, you speak of the man and he is there. Rob C-Note coming in over the top with the C-Note saying, did Elise send you the helmet pics? No. Elise has not sent me the helmet. Elise, the single greatest intern in the history of Bay Area radio, and Rob C are friends. But no, Elise did not send me any helmet pics. I showed you guys the Guardsman helmet that I got at the sports auction. I still got to find a place of honor behind me. But how great is this helmet? Is this what you're talking about? I love this helmet. That's the best looking green helmet in football. Better than a Jets helmet, better than a Michigan State helmet, baby. Marshall Thundering Herd. They wear green helmets, right? Thank you very much, Rob. You are the M-A-N man. Speak of him, and he appears. Tell Elise to send me whatever you're talking about. Let me say, profile. Oh, was it Elise's profile pic? That means I would have to open up Facebook, and I don't do that very often. I would have to check that out. Anyways, Rob, thanks as always, brother. Great to see you. The helmet is fire, isn't it? Rob, see you in the house, which means Postman's in the house.
Oy, oy, oy!
Good to see you, as always, Postman. All right. Well, I told you it's officially time for Today in History. Today, by the way, happy Cinco de Mayo, which means like it's a happy birthday to the Modelo and Corona sales around America. The choice between a Modelo and a Corona is no choice at all. You go Modelo every single time. Corona is like getting a glass of water in a Dixie cup. It's a good sunny day beer. Don't get me wrong. Corona has a place in the world, but a place where you're talking about, boy, that beer's great. It's really not its place. Happy birthdays. Happy 36th birthday to Adele. Big smoky voice, right? Big smoky voice. Adele had some huge hits. But I will say this. Proof that all you women are awful to each other. A lot of women in America really liked Adele when she was all pudgy. And then she lost a lot of weight, and America's like turned on her. She still sounds the same, but you're now threatened. I'm just telling you, ladies. Be happy for Adele. She looks great. You get another group of women in the world upset that Lizzo lost weight. It's good for her. Let her do that. Okay, happy 40th birthday to Clark Duke. Not exactly a household name. Do you know who Clark Duke is? I'm only going to bring him up because I think he's good in everything he's in. He was one of the guys who came in to help save the last season of The Office. He ended up being Jan's sex slave in a couple episodes, Dwight Schrute's son. He's the guy who was in Hot Tub Time Machine and the movie Kick-Ass. Clark Duke turns 40. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to the Three Stooges. None of them actually born on this date, but their very, very first short was released today in 1934. So the Three Stooges, there's not a lot of things from 1934 that if you put them on right now will still make you laugh. God bless the Three Stooges. They still get it done. And let me just say as well, in a weird way, happy birthday to the Grateful Dead. Today, in 1965, the band that at the time was known as the Warlocks, who would later become the Grateful Dead, made their first public appearance at Magoo's Pizza at 639 Santa Cruz Avenue in Menlo Park. Is Magoo's Pizza still around? Is Magoo's Pizza officially on the National Historic Registry list because the Warlocks that became the Grateful Dead played their first ever concert there? I got to look that up. Is Magoo's Pizza even still open? Probably not. Magoo's Pizza, Menlo Park. Is it open? There's a throwback t-shirt. I don't think it's still open. Yeah, look at it this way. Magoo's Pizza's business hours don't pop up, but a whole lot of stuff relating to the fact that the Dead played their first concert there does. So, yeah, I don't think Magoo's is with us. But Legends Pizza Company wants you to know that Legends Pizza is around. Hell yeah, it is. By the way, when are we getting a pizza sent to the house, Legends? How can I thoroughly give your pizza a proper review when I have yet to have it? Let's see. What else we got going on today? How about today? In 1891, it was originally just called the Music Hall, and it opened in New York City. Turns out you would not get there, though, without practicing, and it would become Carnegie Hall. Happy birthday, Carnegie Hall, opened today in 1891. Tchaikovsky, the guest conductor at the time. So there you go. I've never been to Carnegie Hall. I've walked past it. I've never been inside of it. I've been to Radio City Music Hall. I've been to a few other major New York venues, but I've never been in Carnegie Hall. I feel like that's an incomplete on my historic musical venue list. Let's see. How about this? Today in 1904, the very first perfect game was thrown by Cy Young. The first perfect game in the modern era. He did it for the Boston Americans. They would become to be known as the Red Sox. And he did it against the Philadelphia Athletics, who would later become to be known as the West Sacramento Athletics. Oh, no, don't call him that. God, I hate John Fisher. Today in 1961, Alan Shepard made a 15-minute suborbital flight in Freedom 7. He was the first ever U.S. astronaut to travel in space. First guy to actually touch the stars. So congratulations to Alan Shepard. Today in 1973, Secretariat won the Kentucky Derby. Would go on to capture the U.S. Triple Crown, which included the Preakness, and then, of course, Secretariat winning the Belmont is one of the single great sports highlights to ever watch, because you watch Secretariat cross that finish line, and then you got to wait a long time before you see the other horses coming. It's like, what's her name? The girl who just keeps on crushing everybody in the pool. Not Lily King. Who is the other woman in the pool who's just unstoppable? Oh, look at Legends 3 wants Plus Mania 3 Electric Boogaloo at San Jose Legends. Maybe we'll bring a Plus Mania. We're like 5-6 Plus Manias in now. If you count the Japan Plus Mania that I did with JP from the 510, I think we're like 6 Plus Manians now. But hey, that could possibly happen one day. And there you go. You're right. Hand Banana, Ledecky. Katie Ledecky. Katie Ledecky finishes her race, cut to a commercial break, and then everyone in her race finishes. It's staggering how ahead of the field she is. Katie Ledecky is ahead of the field in the pool the way that Secretariat was ahead of the field in Belmont that day. But today, the Triple Crown begins, of course, with a Kentucky Derby. And in 1973, Secretariat changed sports history. Can you even name the horse who won on Saturday? Again, I even said it earlier in today's show. It's amazing what horse racing was and what horse racing is now. What a muddy day it was. Sovereignty in the mud beat journalism, which, again, journalism's been losing a lot lately, if you don't mind me saying. Finally, are you ready? Because the biggest international incident ever happened today in 1994. Do you remember when an American teenager named Michael Fay was caned in Singapore for theft and vandalism? Do you remember that? They caned a teenager in Singapore because he vandalized something. And I think I remember at the time, Fox News trying to gin up a whole bunch of anger. And then most people were like, well, most people were like, let's bring back caning. I think corporal punishment is fantastic. In a world of online douchebags who never have any repercussions for anything they say or do physically against them, I think caning asshole teenagers is an outstanding idea. Can we bring caning to America? I liked it in 1994. I think I like it even more now. I'm not talking about Matt caning. I'm talking about whooping the naked behind of some smart-ass teenager who needs to officially enter the find out era after the effing around. Sovereignty says, apparently a direct descendant of Secretariat. Isn't every other horse a direct descendant of Secretariat right now? He's a lot. SGA says, can I join Plus Mania? Yeah, can you get to the Bay Area the next time we do one? I hope so. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Cane them all. I've changed my tune. Cane everybody. How about this? Cane first, ask questions later. Watch how fast America falls in line of caning. I want caning on pay-per-view. I'd love to see some people caned. Straight up, Kevin Bacon. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Right out of Animal House. Get that pledge paddle out. Are you wearing a pledge pin? And there it is. That's the show. I thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you for watching. Thanks to Rob C. Note. Thanks to everyone else who dropped a hand banana, I believe, came in today. Yes, with a super chat as well. Again, merch. It is available. Pick up a t-shirt. Pick up a mug. Memberships are available. Support the channel indefinitely, now and forever. Thank you very much for watching. And all you got to do is hit like and subscribe to support the channel for absolutely scotch-free to you. Think about becoming a YouTube member. If you are sick and tired of ads running in the show, that's a great way to just cancel out all the ads. And if you're watching that much, it's not just this channel, which you will benefit from ad-free consumption on, but all the channels that you watch. So thank you. You guys are awesome. You gals are awesome. You are my kind of people. Have a great Cinco de Mayo. You know what? Screw it. Let's go. Cinco de Drinko. Aha! Why not? That's to celebrate. Yeah, Jillian just opened the door. She's like, what? It's Cinco de Mayo, honey.
Okay.
What are you doing? You want some?
No, I'm going to go drop off our kid's nap roll because you forgot to wash it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go do that. Sorry. I did a lot of good dadding over the week, but the kid got sent home with a nap roll, and I forgot to bring that back. So, my bad. Thank you, Jillian. It's good to have the wife home. Normalcy has been restored to the Bruce household. My kind of people. Thank you so much for watching. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's